I look ugly as hell right now, but that's not the point of this video. I might wait a second, because first of all, I don't even know where to begin. And nobody's watching my live yet, so I might just wait till a few people start, or just like the last video, I might even not. But like, I'm trying to get my thoughts all together before I start speaking. Hey, Brittany. I'm just so, what are the words? I'm heartbroken. I'm just, yeah, that's probably the best word. Heartbroken, infuriated. Is that the word? Just, oh, God. So, let me start off the video by saying I'm all for Black Lives Matter. White privilege is absolutely a real thing, unfortunately, in this country. And those of you who don't believe in those things, you're wrong. And it's because you've never had to really experience all the negative shit that goes on around you. But I still don't understand how some of the stuff doesn't click to a lot of you. Especially considering I've seen kids, my baby sisters being a few of them themselves, okay? And obviously I'm white, they're white. My baby sister is literally 7 years old. The other one is 11. And it fucking sickens me that they get it. My baby sister's best friend is named Morgan, and she's an African-American little girl, right? And Kimberly was sitting with me yesterday and hearing me rant, because obviously, first of all, I contemplated whether or not, hey Greg, I contemplated whether or not to even make this video in the first place, because I'm just so back and forth, because there's just so much to say, and I'm just so disgusted, like, all around with a lot, you know. Hey, again, Tremaine, here I go on my rants again. But anyways, as everybody fucking knows, me being who I am, especially my friends could tell you, Greg could definitely fucking tell you that he's watching right now. He can tell you I've always been this way too. When I stand up for what's fucking right versus what's wrong, and I always fucking have. It doesn't matter if you're my family, you're my friend, you're white, you're black, you're fucking gay, you're this, that, or the third. I stand up for what's fucking right. My baby sister could tell you that too. She just walked back in here. So, like I said, long story short, I've just been contemplating on making this video because I'm just so angry. But my baby sister Kimberly was sitting here with me. She's been watching a lot of this stuff with me, unfortunately. I mean, you can't really hide it, you know. And she said to me, when she was watching, she said, I know, I want to speak my mind, but it's just so... No, I'm on Facebook Live. She said to me the other day, and my mother, she said that she was worried about her best friend Morgan and Morgan's family, because obviously they're African American, right? And she said that she didn't want the police to beat them and hurt them. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional, and I don't want to. Hey, Aunt Joanne. That broke my heart. And it's crazy because she's 7. And she fucking gets it. So how do some people not get it? Hey, Angela. She's 7 years old. And she's asking these questions. Courtney's 11. And she posted something on her Snapchat. about an African-American little girl. Hey. That was speaking her mind on the situation. Hey, Jazz. And I guess one of her friend's cousins had added her on Snapchat, which is a white boy. And that boy, which is crazy too, he's actually 11 too, and he was just saying all kinds of crazy shit to her, which also is fucking crazy to me because he's 11 years old. I don't know who fucking raised him or what he's been around. But he was just saying that the little girl doesn't know what she's talking about. But she did. She was a baby too, and I seen a little fucking white girl at one of these protests. And she was fucking hysterical. Hey, Jazz, how are you, baby? She was hysterical. Crying. Saying that Black Lives Matter. Now, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand how some of us in my fucking community, unfortunately, and I'm embarrassed. I'm white and I'm fucking embarrassed. And disgusted and I'm hurt. Can you stop, please?
I'm sorry.
I'm embarrassed because I don't understand how... I'm on Facebook Live, sweetie.
Yeah, I told her
so,
to not be naked.
I'm sorry. This is Courtney's room, and she just got out of the shower.
What are you doing?
I'm on Facebook Live.
No, I'm talking to Tim.
So anyways, I just don't fucking understand how some people don't get it.
What happened to your hand?
What comment couldn't you find, Aunt Joanne? I just don't understand how some fucking people can't get it when you have fucking little kids who get it, you know? That's what bothers me the most. And like I said, I just started crying a little bit. My other sister just fucking walked in. Like I said, because Kimberly broke my fucking heart. It took everything in me not to cry when she said the shit she said to me. And obviously, you just see my fucking reaction right then and there, how I really wanted to react. But I had to try to keep it together because obviously she's a kid. And I'm trying to... How do you explain that to a kid? Her best friend is African American and she's white. Caucasian, whatever. Whatever you guys want me to say. You know? How do you answer those questions? You know, she's asking if she's going to be okay. Aunt Joanne said hi, Cal.
Sorry, I said hi.
Hey, Aunt Joanne. How do you tell a Oh, Kimmy is getting up, so she's fine. But how do you tell a 7-year-old kid about these kind of things? What are the words? What does anybody have for this? You know? Love you guys too. Hey, Jen. White privilege is a real thing. That's what I will say. And my little sisters get it, you know? They get it. Courtney was saying that the police officers were killing black people. They get it. You know, I've been so disgusted, especially with my own community. And sometimes it's really hard to be white. Just because, like, for me anyways, because to see some of the hateful things that are done and said, especially during times like this, it's just disgusting for me personally. I'm just disgusted.
Kim, go wipe your makeup off. Go wipe your makeup off. So you don't fall asleep with it.
So if you're one of those people that keep posting all the ignorance that you're posting, please fucking stop. Because there's so many fucking people that are posting such ignorant fucking shit. And it's so fucking disgusting. Like, I don't even remember what the fucking girl's name is, but there was a white girl who was killed by a police officer in, like, Minnesota or something, right? So somebody posted that. Probably a white person, more than likely, right? Obviously. She posted that. And they said, well, I'm sorry, I said she, I don't know who, but there was people that were posting that anyways. And they were saying, where's her riots? Now, let me just say, first of all, that kind of, when you're fucking in the white people, okay? Since we're all white here, I'm a white person saying this. Stop posting shit like that. Stop fucking trying to sit here and post your opinions on how you feel.
Mimi, where are you?
Can you guys, I'm trying to make a video. Stop posting all this ignorant stuff. Please stop doing it, because you look stupid. You're posting things that you feel our people You're posting, sorry, I just got a call. You're posting things that you feel our people have to go through. Your opinions, mind you. Now, let me just say this. We get justice 9 times out of 10. Okay? What people don't understand, especially in the person that made that post, clearly doesn't get it. That woman's killer, that was the police officer, her killer was, she got justice. That shit was taken care of. So you posting that during something like this is just so insensitive, disgusting, and you're part of the problem. You're making everything worse. You're making everything worse. And there's been so many just hateful, disgusting things said. Like I said, that was one of the things that pissed me off. That was posted, because like I said, obviously everybody knows that white people get killed too. Everybody knows that. For the white people that are watching and want to sit here and say that kind of insensitive stuff, white people get killed too. White people have to deal with things with the police too, but we get justice. Then there was another ignorant post. Black people kill black people every day. Or black people only care about black lives when a cop is killing them or white people are killing them. Really? Really? Like, the ignorance, like I said, is just really disgusting. It really is disgusting. Because like I said, are we correct that it happens? Yeah. Black people kill black people, absolutely. It happens. But again, when black people kill black people, the black people that killed that other black person goes to jail. There's no question about it. Same thing as if George Floyd was a white man, and I already know this, I'm not stupid. If George Floyd was a white man and the cop, I don't know his goofy ass name, I don't even know, I couldn't tell you. But, because I don't remember. But if that was a black cop who put his knee on a white man, first of all, I don't even think it would have got that far, because people would have stepped up and helped. Which is also disgusting in itself. But if those were all black cops around and whatever, black people in general, and it was a white person that was on that ground dying, there would be some kind of justice. We all know that. Well, at least most of us. Anybody who's smart would have known that. So you making all these posts and stuff during a time like this, especially, to try to sit there and like try to tell other people, first of all, like I said, how to feel, like try to say, I'm getting upset again. You're trying to tell other people that they shouldn't feel this type, like basically you're trying to downplay how these people are feeling. How do you know? Because once again, you're white, you're privileged, just like I am. I never had to sit there and grow up, and my parents didn't have to sit there and grow up and worry about my life like that. Anyways, worrying about me walking down the street and getting killed, or me getting pulled over by the police and getting killed for a nonviolent crime. My parents didn't have to deal with that. They didn't have to have to worry about that kind of stuff. That's a reality. That's a reality. And it's unfortunate. It's disgusting, you know? It's really fucking disgusting. I don't even know. Obviously, everyone can tell how upset I am about it. So, like I said, with the insensitive posts and the just the bullshit that everyone keeps posting, it's just like, I'm embarrassed and I'm disgusted. And if I do unfriend anybody, I definitely had to go on my Facebook friends list for a long time and delete a lot of people. I have so many friends, and I don't even know how it have even happened. But I've had people for years on here, you know. And this whole entire incident has made it my vision's a lot clearer. And a lot of people's true colors have been shown. And that's the crazy thing about all this. Everybody's so worried about skin color and this, that, and the third. But you're not even worried about your own true colors. Because some of you are really disgusting people. Like, honestly. Like, your heart is not good. Your heart's very ugly. And if you're one of those people posting all these things to try to sit there and feel better about, or try to make us sound like, you know what I mean? Why? Like I said, white privilege is a real thing. If you don't believe that, you're wrong. It's real. It's a real thing. We don't have to sit there, like I said, and We don't have to sit there and worry about nonviolent crimes. We're getting murdered. We don't have to sit there and worry about walking in a store and everyone thinking we're going to steal. I'll give you one story for example. Because I've seen both sides. I'm not black, but I've seen both sides. Because you want to know what? The majority of people I hang around are black. Okay? The men I've dated and dealt with all together have been black. Give you one example. Me and my best friend, when I was still living in New York. Tanner, if she ever sees this, she can vouch for me. The guy I used to date a long time ago, he's not even alive anymore. He was killed, stabbed in the neck in Buffalo. He's not alive anymore. But him and I were at the mall once with my best friend Tanner. We were walking through the mall. This was Walden Galleria Mall. We were walking through the mall. We were having a good time. It was literally just the three of us. We went to go see a movie, all kinds of stuff. And that's the thing. We went to the movie theater. Oh, and his name was Devontae Johnson. And his nickname was Boots. Rest in peace to him. But anyways, I was dating him at the time. And long story short, like I said, we were going through the mall. We went to go see a movie. When we went into the movie theater, I don't know if anyone have ever been to the Walden Galleria. If you're watching this and you're from Buffalo, you probably obviously know. They have like little arcade games and stuff, and we were all hanging out over there. And there was this, I noticed a security guard watching us for the longest, like just kept watching. Obviously, I noticed it, but I didn't say anything. Devontae noticed it, but like, and he kind of like made a comment or whatever, but like he didn't really, he didn't really do too much. He was just like, I feel like that security guard is watching us, and I was like, yeah, So then this was what was crazy about that. So he was watching us. Then he decided he was going to approach us. And he came up really aggressively, I remember. And he looked at me and Tanner. Well, he looked Devontae up and down. Like I said, I miss you too, baby. He looked Devontae up and down and kind of just like gave him like just an evil look that I'll never forget. And then he looked at us and asked me and Tanner if we were okay. And we're like, what do you mean? Well, and I can't remember exactly what he said after that, like, because it was so long ago. It was when I was still in high school. But he was just like, I'm just asking because, you don't seem like you're okay. Basically something like that. And we're like, we're standing here laughing, having a good time. How do we look like we're not okay? We weren't like even play fighting. We weren't doing anything. Like, we were literally standing there with each other laughing and having a wonderful time. And this man came out of nowhere and destroyed it, because like just the whole entire time was just, after that was just like, really, like, so I've seen it. And I mean, it's crazy. Same thing. I've had a couple other friends, well, a lot of other friends anyways, who were African-American men, all that, and I used to go to the Gallery Mall and we all used to hang out, and I would get all kinds of dirty looks. So it's just a lot. It's disgusting. It really is. But like I said before, we don't fear for our lives in that type of aspect, so if you honestly don't see that, you're crazy. You're crazy. And you're part of the problem. You need to realize that. And if you're one of those people, especially like white people who are sitting here saying all lives matter, stop. Because absolutely you're correct. All lives matter. They do. But all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. And that's the whole entire thing about it is that in this country, unfortunately, Black lives haven't been shown to matter. They don't get the same amount of justice we get. And that's a reality. And here's another hateful, disgusting thing that pissed me off this morning. They're bringing up old cases. Trayvon Martin. And that one broke my heart too. Because that happened, 7 or 8 years ago? 7 or 8 years ago. And that family technically never got justice for that either. I followed that case from start to finish back then. I was disgusted back then. I got into countless arguments back then over that whole situation. And now they're bringing that back up and trying to say that Trayvon Martin's dad set him up to be murdered. Why during something like this of another why are we bringing up other unjust cases? Another case of discrimination. Trying to bring up an old case. What are some of you trying to do? You know, like what, honestly, like I don't understand, and that is not true. Everybody who have seen that case, know about that case, knows for damn sure Trayvon Martin's dad never set him up for murder. That man loved his boy, still does to this day. They were in every trial crying. So how dare you? If you're one of those people who said that, post it, reshared it, believe it, whatever, how dare you do that to their family? How dare you? How dare you be so insensitive? How dare you bring up another form of discrimination and injustice during another one? White people, stop your bullshit, please. Because not all of us are fucking like that. That's the problem. Not all of us are like that. And you know what? A lot of African American people in the African American community do believe that we're all like that, especially now, because a lot of you are being so disgusting, especially right now. I'm not like that. My little sisters aren't like that. Like, my family knows that this bullshit that happened was fucking wrong. So for some of you to sit here and be as hateful as you're being makes it look bad for the rest of us. It makes it look bad. I'm not hateful. I don't have a hateful bone in my body. I really fucking don't. I love people in general. If you're a good person to me, I'm going to be a good person to you. That's just how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. And during a time like this, we're all supposed to be one. You know what I mean? We're all supposed to be coming together and be united to fight against this. Not segregating like back in the fucking day and hating each other and doing all kinds of crazy shit or saying hateful shit. I'm disgusted. And like I said, I'm embarrassed for some of the shit my own fucking people are doing and saying. I'm embarrassed. You're welcome, Mike. So I'm reading some of these comments now because I was obviously talking for a while, but I'm disgusted. And here's the other part. Here's how I feel about a lot of this other stuff. Now, also, I will say, like I said, Black Lives fucking matter. I'm all for that. I'm all for it. I support the cause. And I have for years. My mom can tell you that. My friends can tell you that. My little sisters can tell you that. Whoever you know, y'all need to ask. I've been for the cause for years. Especially ever since Trayvon Martin. I've been for it. I've been trying to speak on it and use my voice as well. But doing so peacefully. I also, like I said, I'm all for Black Lives Matter. But I don't believe in the violent protests. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. Because here's my reasoning. I don't understand what anybody thinks they're going to get out of it. Because some people are trying to say, well, where did peaceful protests ever get us? And I get where you're coming from to an extent with that. But let me tell you who one of my favorite people ever were. Here's where some of the ugly comes out too. One of my favorite people in history of all time was Martin Luther King, Gandhi. Those are like two of my favorite people. Because, and yeah, you're absolutely, like, some of these people are absolutely correct, because I've seen a lot of people saying, well, Martin Luther King, y'all shot him too, and this, that, and the third. Okay. But do we still talk about him? Here's the question. Do we still talk about him to this day? Absolutely. Absolutely, we do. We have a whole day dedicated to him. We have parks dedicated to him. And he was a good man and an amazing speaker. And he was, like I said, he was one of my favorites as a kid. Because he stood up for what he believed in. He stood up for what was right and how people should be treated. And he didn't have to burn down buildings to do that. Rosa Parks. She stood up. She stood up. And she didn't have to be violent to do that. That's just two. Two people protested, fought for what they believed in without being fucking violent. And this is the crazy thing about all that shit too. Here's the crazy thing, right? People are out here, mind you, and it's not even just black people. So hold on, let me say that real quick, okay? It's not just black people who are out here violently protesting. It's white people too, okay? There's people out here protesting, rioting, burning down buildings, going after people, shooting people, running down cops. That happened in Buffalo. Running over police. Can you open that door, please? Why did you lock her out? Did you lock her out? Running down police, burning down buildings, burning down, like, just doing all kinds of crazy things, like destroying cities. What are you getting out of that? What kind of message do you think you're gonna send? Because you want to be heard, right? That's what they're saying. They want to be heard. Or also, we're running in Walmarts and Targets. We're running in Walmarts. We're running in Targets. We're running in fucking Nike and fucking Foot Lockers, grabbing a bunch of sneakers and shit. Stealing, right? But you care so much about George Floyd's life, right? I said even before all this came out. This is something that I said. I said George Floyd wasn't even a violent man himself. I said that before I even really knew what happened, before I even seen the video. Can you guys stop, please?
She won't let me in here.
Before I seen the video. You guys don't need to be in here to hear me talk about all this, honestly. And I don't need any extra noise and stuff in the background. Can you guys go do something can you please go do something while I'm on Facebook?
Courtney's not going to do anything.
Can you stop? Because I'm literally on Facebook Live and I can't even remember where I just left off now. I said before all this stuff even got out, before I even seen the video myself, with just hearing about it, I said all these people who were killed for discrimination and all that other stuff, Trayvon Martin, this person, that person, they weren't even violent themselves. Like I said, I didn't see any type of violence come from that man. And from what I heard, he didn't do a violent crime. I said he probably wouldn't even want this shit to happen. And guess what? His brother just came out and said to stop all this shit because his brother wouldn't have wanted it. His brother was anti-violence. Anti-violence. And like I said too, this is the crazy thing about all the looting and all the rioting and shit going on. They're doing it to African American people too. So how can you sit there telling me you're screaming Black Lives Matter, right? While you're going in black owned fucking businesses and stealing and destroying their buildings. There was an African American man who literally sat there and said, I believe it was in Memphis too, the same shit where all this stuff happened. He said he had his whole life savings, okay, into his business. And they destroyed it. The rioters and all these people out looting and shit saying Black Lives Matter. They destroyed his building. So how Black Lives Matter? And he can't even provide for his family, right? Because you just destroyed this man's building. He probably isn't even going to be able to reopen. He said his whole life savings was in that building. I do believe a lot of people, and like I said before everybody attacks me, white people too, okay? I believe a lot of the people who are sitting here destroying shit, stealing shit, they're using George Floyd's death as a fucking excuse to do it. And then screaming Black Lives Matter because that makes it okay. You don't really care about that man's death, and you're not doing anything for him or for his people or for his family. Because you know what? People are gonna think all kinds of crazy things because you know what? That's not a way that his memory should be lived. We should be saying his name and doing peaceful things and trying to remember him in a good way. Because you know what? Some people are going to look at this and people are going to talk about this in history probably for a long time. And they're going to be like, George Floyd, oh my God, that was so bad. That's what they're going to do. That's what people are going to do. That's what people are going to say. And you want to know why? Because of all the crazy stuff that they're doing behind it. And like I said, this man would not even supported it. His own brother said that. Word for word. He wouldn't support this. Please stop. I get it. Everyone wants justice. Everyone wants justice. I guess not everyone. There are people who don't. But guess what? I want justice. My sisters want justice for this man. My family wants justice for this man. You know, there's a lot of people who actually do care. Who are trying to use their voice, who are trying to speak like I'm speaking on here. I mean, obviously that's not much I can do, but it's a start. But like I said, burning down buildings and acting crazy is not gonna solve anything. You're not gonna get what you want out of that. Let me read some of these comments. People are actually being violent and looting. Yep, just what I said. Yep. And that's the thing. People are walking in Walmarts, in and out of Walmarts with 65-inch TVs. Stealing them. Black Lives Matter. You're stealing TVs. That sounds to me more like you just wanted a TV. And you stole it. You found an excuse to do that. That's what it sounds like to me. Like I said, white and black people. While screaming Black Lives Matter. No. No. Because you're not doing anything good for that community of people by doing that. Because you know what? The whole entire reason why George Floyd and other African American people are getting killed and discriminated against and whatever and all this injustice is because there are people out there that are racist, that feel like African Americans are no good, they're nothing but criminals, or this, that, and the third. What do you think these people are going to say now? And a lot of you are going to say, I don't care, I don't care. And you're right. Okay, you don't care. And you don't have to. But that's going to be another reason why another innocent black man dies. Or black girl or kid. You're giving these people, you're feeding their stereotypes. Because if they're already saying these things about your community, they're already sitting here saying those things. And again, they're wrong. Because I've met white people who were trash. I've met people of all races who were trash, to be completely honest with you, and good people of all kinds too. But that's my point. You're feeding these people stereotypes about you. You know, like that's literally what's going to happen. They're going to look at the TV sets and say, "See what these people are doing? Do you see?" So again, and same thing. We're out killing police officers, running police officers over, and punching police officers in their face, and doing this and doing that. Again. So what do you think you're going to solve out of that? Let me know, because we're saying a life for a life. Let me ask a question. There's, like I said, there's police officers who are sitting, who don't believe it's okay either. And now they got to fear for their lives too because of all the bullshit going on. And they're just doing a job. You know? I'm not saying I agree with what goes on. I'm not saying police brutality isn't a thing. It absolutely is. But if you honestly are one of those people that fucking believe that they're all like that, you're wrong too. Sorry, but you are. I know police officers myself who don't fucking think that this shit is okay. And same thing, George was an innocent man. And it was wrong. So we're going to sit here and start running over innocent police officers who didn't have anything to do with it? Or we're going to sit here burning people's buildings down? Or we're sitting here, I heard, this is the crazy thing too. I heard we're going to, people posting, we're going to go in all the white hoods and break into their houses and beat them up and kill them and do all that, just all this negativity. What the fuck did me or my family have to do with what the fuck happened? Let me know. Let me know. A life for a life. We're standing and protesting with you. We don't fucking believe that this shit's okay. Same shit with some of these police officers. They don't believe that shit is okay. So what gives you the right or the next person the right to fucking kill these people? Or whatever. Like I said, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not. And I'm not saying I don't fucking see it, because I do. But you can't fucking think like that. You can't be negative on top of negative or violent on top of violent. You're not going to get anywhere. And like I said, some of the people that everyone's going after didn't even do anything. Then there's also African American people who are sitting here trying to fucking say that other African American people aren't fucking African American people. What? I have a friend right now that there was a girl, or people, I guess, multiple people, who were telling her that she can't fucking fight this fight because she's not really black. Because she's literally, she's half and half Italian and half black, I guess. And then, mind you, she's got a son who is obviously half his mom and half his dad. And his dad is an African American man. So that little boy is mainly fucking black. Mainly speaking black, right? Because his mom's black and his dad's black. He only has a little bit of white in him because the mom has a little bit of white in her. But they're light skinned, so they can't fight this fight. What? And I've seen a lot of that too. A lot of people posting, if you're light skinned, if you're mixed, if you have any white in you, you can't speak. Or if you talk white, you can't say anything. Or if you love white people, you can't say anything. Or if your significant other is white, you can't fight. What? Or I've actually, my other sister, who's 21, got told by another girl who is an African American girl, shut your privileged white ass up. Or I've seen riots in fucking Chicago. These crackers need to go. I don't understand that. Like, if we're sitting here saying we understand, or we're trying to understand, we're trying to help, where do you get off? Like, why don't you want the help? And where do you get off telling other people that they can't fight with you, or they can't be sad with you, or do any of these things? And where do you get off telling another person that they're not black when they are? Sorry to tell you this, but in America, if you have any type of black in you, sweetheart, you're considered black here. So some of these people are trying to sit here and say that, and all this crazy shit. If you're light skinned, you can't fight. If you're white, you can't fight. If you talk white, again, and what the fuck is that? And if you're African American saying that other African American people act white or talk white, you're ignorant as fuck too. Along with the ignorant ass white people who sit there and say to black people, you can't be black, or you don't act black, or you don't. What the fuck? How do you act a race? How do you talk a race? Let me know, because I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't see that. I don't see it. There's just ignorance everywhere. Ignorance in every race. Ignorance. There's just a lot of ignorance going around, and it's just so disgusting. It really is. It really is, and it needs to stop. I'm reading some of the comments, you guys. But I don't understand. I make it make sense to me. Some of you, if you have anything to say, please say it. You know, because it's crazy to me. And I seen this one post that was ignorant as fuck too. A girl I used to go to school with. She's a white girl, and she has a little the fist up on her profile picture, like a lot of us do on our I don't have it up, but there's a lot of people on Facebook who do, supporting Black Lives Matter, right? But also she's from Buffalo, New York as well, where, like I said, police were run over. Okay? And she said in her post, basically saying, like, does anybody know who these police officers were, and do they have a GoFundMe page? There was an African American female who decided to go on there and laugh Like, she posted laughing my fucking ass off. So the girl said, so you support us running over police officers now? She put, yes, just like you white motherfuckers feel like it's okay to kill innocent blacks. Again, ignorant as fuck. Ignorant. Just fucking ignorant. Because some of us white motherfuckers, as she said, once again, are protesting too, are fighting fucking too. We are not all fucking racist. Just because a racist white douchebag fucking police officer decided to do such an awful fucking thing, and or the millions of other ones who do, that doesn't mean that I fucking did it. That doesn't mean my sister did it. Really? You got a face mask on?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we're a part of it, or that we agree with it, or that it's okay, or that all of us do it. I can't stand for it. Just like there's police officers too, as well, who are trying to fight against this shit too. Again, I'm not saying that I don't support the cause. So before everybody feels like I'm another white girl who likes black men and doesn't care about black men and all this other fucking crazy shit that I have heard before. Stop the bullshit. Fucking stop. I care. But I'm also going to speak on all the fucking ignorance that goes on. All of it. I speak for what the fuck is right. Two wrongs don't make a fucking right. I'm not saying I support it. I'm not saying like that I don't understand certain levels to this shit. But at the same time, if you're going to be ignorant as fuck too, what are you proving? Let me know. And if any of you fucking believe, honestly, that being violent or hateful or any of the shit that's going on is going to do anything for this cause, you're wrong. And if you honestly believe that rioting in these type of ways and going into Foot Locker and Walmart and all these other places and stealing and breaking buildings and burning them down, if you really believe you're not going to jail for that too, you're crazy. So again, what are you proving from a jail cell? What are you proving if you yourself ends up dead? Because like I said before, and especially in where I stay is Fayetteville, North Carolina, where a bunch of military, that's one of our biggest military bases. If you don't believe that they're going to start sending these people out, start shooting people, you're crazy as hell. And again, what are you getting out of that? What do you get out of it if they start killing you? You're just another person that died, or another innocent person that fucking died out of this? What are you proving? Just the ignorance has to stop all around. Ignorance happens everywhere. It's happening everywhere. And there's a lot of people that... Can you unlock that door?
Yes.
There's a lot of people who aren't going to agree with me on that. And I don't really care.
Because she's upset.
Really? I don't really care who feels what out of this. I just speak on what I've seen, what I know for a fact. You know, in my personal beliefs. You don't have to agree with me. You could feel however you feel about me. But I've seen it, okay? And it's just crazy to me how ugly some people are really fucking acting. And it's all over. And all different races are acting like a bunch of assholes, to be honest with you. And ignorant. And there's a lot of people that are sitting here trying to say that stereotypes don't go both ways, but they do. They just don't affect our lives as much as they affect African American lives. But stereotypes do go both fucking ways, okay? And you can't sit there and tell me I can't fight the fucking fight with you either. Or that light skins can't fucking do that, because we haven't struggled how these people apparently struggled. How they're saying anyways. I guess some of the dark-skinned African American people who are saying that us light skins and white people can't say anything. How are you going to tell me what the fuck I've been through or what I've experienced? Because guess what, sweetheart? If any of you do feel like that, I've been discriminated against too. I just don't sit there and speak on it. You want to know why? Because I don't really care. And yeah, I'm white. I'm privileged. So I don't really have to care. You're right. But don't fucking tell me I haven't been through something or I can't speak on it. Because you want to know what? I've experienced it from both fucking races myself. Discriminated against. I've been called a white devil by multiple black people. Whatever. I don't really give a fuck. That's fine. I'll be that. And for being who I am and speaking for the African American community a lot, especially my own fucking community, and telling all these scumbags that they are fucking scumbags. I've been called nigger lovers, all kinds of shit, and I hate that word. I never even use that word, but just for the cause and for the sake of the video, just so everybody knows, I've been called that. Because I do support the cause. So how can somebody else tell me I can't sit there and stand up with you? How is that fair? Because I'm not African American, I can't say something? I've been speaking on this shit for years. And like I said, I've been called that nasty ass shit. I've been called racist against my own kind. And like I said, I have a lot of African American friends, and the men that I date are all African American. So if you think that I haven't experienced some type of discrimination, even just slowly based off of just being around African American people, you're wrong. We experience it too. Same shit as fucking light-skinned people. Again, newsflash, they are black too, especially in this country. If you have any black in you, you're black. So they've experienced racism too. Discrimination too. And you want to know what? They've experienced it from both white people and black people. Because they get discriminated against too. And they don't even know half the time where they fit in. Especially growing up. Because then you got white people saying you don't belong. Some of them, not all of them. Then you got black people saying, oh, you can't be a part of us because, you know, you're light skinned or you're this or you're that. You're not fully black. Or you act white. And I got plenty of friends who can vouch for me that's told me that themselves. I have a couple on my Facebook right now who are experiencing that type of shit. So my question is like, where are some of you, like, where are your minds even at? During shit like this, we're all supposed to be united. We're all supposed to come together and fight and try to get justice for this man. But instead, it's turning into some kind of war against white people and black people. And for what? Do you want this world to be better or worse? And it's like, to me, it keeps getting worse. Like, you think that you're making steps, but it's like, then something else happens and something else happens. You get what shit all the time. And then it's like, I just don't understand. Zan has something to say. Who is Zan? And whoever it is, say something if you want to say something. Go ahead. As long as it's fucking respectful. Because I'm going to let you know this now too. If anybody has anything disrespectful to fucking say, I absolutely will be deleting and blocking you. So there's no sense. Be respectful. Oh, there goes Haley right now. Hey, Haley. She's one of the girls who I was talking about earlier. Whose post I got on earlier. And me and her were fighting somebody. Because she was telling us white motherfuckers. That's why she believes in running over police officers, because us white motherfuckers want to kill unarmed black people. Rocky cannot. But just all the ignorance and all this needs to stop, because honestly, it's just making the world a really ugly place right now, and a really hard place to live in. A really hard place to live in. And it's just, I don't even know what to say anymore. And I can't believe how ugly, like I said, some people are acting from all around. Like I said, there's shitty people in every race. There's good people in every race. Nobody deserves what happened to any of those men. Nobody deserves that. White privilege is real. I'm a white person. I'm saying that. I believe it to the fullest. And I know a lot of people do too. Racism is real. And like I said before, if there's anybody that's willing to fight and stand with you, accept it. Like, if you want this world to be better, you have to. And I don't understand, like, you can't fight this fight alone. You need to have some white people on your fucking side in this. And then why exclude light skins? And why are some of these people feeling like light skins aren't really black? Let me know. Because they absolutely are. Why aren't they black too? Why do you think that they haven't been discriminated against too? There's been plenty of light skins also who've been targeted by the cops. So where do some of these people get off? Where do any of you get off telling this person or that person that they're not black, or that they can't talk about, or that they, like, that's, they're fucking people too. Stop that shit. Stop. If anyone has anything to say, please say it. And like I said, I'm just disgusted. I'm so glad that I don't have children right now. Because here's the sad reality of it. My children, if I was to have children right now, they would have been black as well. They would have been mixed. Matter of fact, white and black. So what? Some people were going to tell my fucking kids that they couldn't speak on this situation because they were mixed? Please. Or I'd have to sit there and worry about one of my kids getting killed because of the fact that they're also mixed. Disgusting. And honestly, even for my little sisters, my sisters are white girls. It's just really scary and sad that they got to live in this type of world too. And like I said, my little sisters see it all. My baby sister made me cry. Because like I said, she was concerned about her best friend who's African American getting killed. And asked if that is going to happen to them. And she said she was worried about him. That broke my heart. Because my baby sister doesn't see color. She doesn't see it. You know? And a lot of kids don't see it. It's that you're taught hate. And then you teach hate. And that's what I'm saying. What kind of message are some of you giving your kids during all this? What kind of world do you want these kids to live in? Because these kids are the ones that are going to have to live through a lot of bullshit probably. I want the best for my baby sisters. I want the best for my kids someday. I don't want them to live in such a hateful world. I don't want them to live in a world where they have to fear for anything. All the bullshit needs to stop. All the hateful protests needs to stop. The hate in general needs to stop. Come together. Come together. That's what needs to happen. Hey everybody that just joined. Like I said, if anybody has anything they want to say, go ahead. I have like 7 viewers. Everyone's just letting me talk. Like I said, I'm all for protests, but I'm for the peaceful ones. I don't believe in destroying my city or anybody else's. I don't believe in burning down buildings to get my point across. And there's been a lot of ignorance with that too. Because there's a lot of people going around saying that white people don't believe in looting and rioting and all this other crazy shit, but that's all they've done for years and in our history, and or during sports events or this, that, or the third. I wasn't one of those people. My family wasn't one of those people. We don't agree with that. They look like a bunch of fucking assholes. That's what I'll tell you. They're assholes too. Just like I said before, you're also forgetting all the people that are also out there rioting and looting are not just African American people. It's white people too. A bunch of white assholes doing the same fucking shit. Then that's another thing too. Then they're out here burning the American flag.
Baby.
Really? Really? You live in America. And it's disrespectful to ever do some shit like that. You know who it disrespects? The people who fight for you to be free. And I get it. I fucking get it that America hasn't always been the best to African Americans and still aren't the best sometimes. But guess what? There are people who have fought for you, who believe in equal rights, who believe that you deserve that. So it's disrespectful to those fucking people who sat there fighting for this country, and the rest of us, we got to sit home. I didn't have to go and fight if I didn't want to. That's my right. Because all these other men are. Black, white, gay, straight, Chinese, Muslim, whatever. Like all these different people. All shapes, sizes, colors, different religions, different races. They've all fought for this fucking country. So I'm sorry, but if you're sitting here burning an American flag to prove a fucking point, you're wrong too. Because like I said before, there's a lot of fucking soldiers who don't fucking believe that that shit was okay. That happened. They fought. They got their legs fucking blown off. I have plenty of fucking family members and shit who fought for this country. And that's disrespectful as fuck to them. My ex-husband, who was a douchebag, by the way, but he fucking fought. He fought for our country too. Well, is fighting, excuse me. He never been through an actual, let's not get into that. But either way, eventually he probably will. But this is the whole thing. These people signed their lives away for this country. And mind you, again, my ex-husband was black, is black, whatever. So, I mean, I don't understand. It's disrespectful. Because you have a lot of African Americans who do fight for this country. I'm from Buffalo, New York, but I stay in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Okay, Fayetteville, North Carolina is one of the biggest military bases, and that's what's crazy. Well, I don't think the burning of the flags happened in Fayetteville, but whatever. But I guarantee you, not too many people are gonna agree with that shit where I stay. That's a disrespect to all those people who fight for the country. All of them. And I would be an asshole if I stood up here and said that shit's okay. I'd be a fucking asshole. Especially where I stay. And I serve all these people. Daily. So I know what all these fucking people look like who fight for our country. I know what they all look like. And they're all different races. Different religions. Fucking all different shapes and sizes. Gay, bi, straight. I know. Like I said, I'm not blind to any of the bullshit that goes on in this country. But burning the flags down, do better. Do fucking better. If you want your voices to be heard, speak like I'm fucking speaking on a live fucking feed for everybody to hear my opinions. Everybody knows how I feel now. Use your voice in a good way. Be heard in a good way. Like I said, you're absolutely right. Martin Luther King was killed. But he was an amazing fucking man, I'll tell you that. He was an amazing speaker. Was one of my favorites. And guess what? I bet you Kimberly Fortunato is a 7-year-old. Knows who Martin Luther King Jr. is, don't you? Mm-hmm. I bet you Courtney knows who Martin Luther King Jr. is, don't you? Mm-hmm. And guess what? Didn't have to be any type of violent to get his point across. Do you know who Rosa Parks is, girls?
Yeah.
What did she do?
She didn't want to give up her seat.
Because do you know why?
No, I forgot. But I learned it in school.
But you know who the woman is, right? Do you know why, Court?
No, I don't remember.
But do you know who she is?
Yes.
Do you know, like, what it had to deal with at least?
The seat.
Do you know what it meant at all?
Racist.
Yeah. Because it used to be segregated. So, African American people and white people used to have to be separate.
And also people...
they also had to drink out of different fountains.
Mm-hmm.
And they also had some white people
bathrooms too.
Yep.
some white people let black people in their houses, but they could have got arrested for that.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct, Kimberly. That's my point. And guess what? Again, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Gandhi. They all were anti-violence. And we still talk about them to this day. Yeah, you're right. Martin Luther King got shot. But he's talked about, he's remembered, and in a good way. In a good way. People will talk to him about him probably for my great-great-great-grandchildren's children. Well, I mean, I don't believe in burning down buildings, the American flag, running down police officers that didn't have anything to fucking do with it. I'm sorry. I don't. I believe that George, Trayvon, all these other people, because there's a million. I couldn't even tell you how many others there really are. It's sad. They deserve justice, and they should absolutely get that. But again, I don't believe justice means destroying the rest of this country, destroying cities. Because guess what? All it's doing, like I said, is feeding stereotypes. Is literally mocking this man's death, basically, is how I look at it. Because you're destroying his name in a way. It's not a good way to remember what happened to this man. Obviously, it's not good at all what happened to him at all. But, like, saying Black Lives Matter and fucking marching against this and burning out buildings and screaming George is not, like, that's not a good thing. It's not. Sorry, it's not. It's not giving this good light at all in any type of aspect. It's not going to make anything happen. Like I said, all it's going to do is lead to more deaths and just more bullshit. It's crazy. The whole entire thing is crazy. But it just has to stop. All of it. Like I said, if you're going to protest, do it peacefully. Be safe if you are out there protesting. Please. Please be safe. Because this stuff is all getting scary fast. Like I said, I've seen a lot of people already die over all of this. I've seen people get hurt massively over all of this. And I don't feel like this is the end of it. But it can start being the end of all of this if people start coming together, uniting, and stop acting like a bunch of assholes. And all around. White people, black people, all of it. Just be smart. And, like, love. Like, stop being so hateful. There's enough hate that went on. It needs to stop. We all have to coexist. Like, and do it comfortably. Like, I'm just disgusted. And like I said before, if you're a white person, stop the bullshit. Stop being hateful. Stop posting insensitive shit. Stop saying that all lives matter. Because it's insensitive too. And here's the thing about that too. I think some people are being assholes about it. But I also don't feel like everybody fully understands what all lives matter really, like, represents. Because, or understand, you know, they don't really understand it because they're trying to basically say, like, all lives matter. And in fact, they do. But unfortunately in this country, like I said, some of these people aren't fully understanding what you're saying by that. When you're saying that, it's a slap in the face to the African American people because they don't believe that their life matters right now. Does that make a little bit more sense? They don't believe that their lives matter right now because one of their people died. They were murdered. And they didn't get justice for that. And that happens all the time in America. And even the ones that aren't shown in the media happens all the time. And African American people are followed all the time. Or looked at as criminals all the fucking time. So, you saying all lives matter is a slap in the face. Because everybody fucking knows that all lives matter. Everybody knows that. Nobody, and even in African American people aren't sitting there trying to say that white people's life don't matter. They're not saying that by saying Black Lives Matter. That's what a lot of you aren't understanding. They're not trying to say that white lives don't matter. it's just evident that white lives matter, because like I said before, if George was a white man, or just like a lot of other white people, we get justice. If I was killed by a black man tomorrow, I'd get justice. And I know I would. I know I would. Especially when it's on tape, you got witnesses. Oh, that man's probably going to jail right then and there. Or he might even end up dead, excuse me. He might even end up dead right then and there. But African American people don't get that. Not often. Like I said, and it's crazy. So try to understand that you are being insensitive if you don't understand that already. And if you do understand that, you're an asshole. Because like I said before, all lives absolutely matter. But black lives have to matter and appear to matter before all lives can matter. And that's a fact. I think I covered just about everything I wanted to cover. I might have left things out. I honestly don't know. I hope everybody understands where I'm coming from, and I hope nobody takes this shit in the way that it's not supposed to be taken. Like, I hope everybody just is better, because a lot of you have been very very ugly during all this. Hey Danielle, a lot of you have been really ugly during all this, and it's just sad. And just so everybody does know and everyone's updated, like I said, if anybody is disrespectful or posts anything that I feel like is racist in any form, you will delete it and blocked, and it's absolutely personal. And I like, everybody knows, especially considering if you look at my friends list, if you can even see it, I don't even know. I have like almost 5,000 friends, and I have not, and that's like insane, and that's been for like the longest. Hey Danielle. And I don't go through and find the time to delete people. So if I delete you, like, it's definitely personal, and obviously it's because you're probably an asshole, more than likely. So, because I already went through quite a few people, I could say, during all this that I've already deleted. And like I said, I don't delete people. Like, I really don't. So, just with that being said, just think about what you post before you post it. Think about what message you're trying to get by with it. And like I said before too, speak up. That's another thing. Speak up. Fight. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't. And to those of you who are saying that certain people shouldn't be able to fight, you're wrong. You're definitely wrong for that. And you're showing a lot of the hatred that a lot of these other assholes are showing. So yeah, just everybody do better. America do better. For real. And I really, really hope that justice is found for this man and every other men and women, children who have died due to injustice. I feel like I was going to say something else, but I honestly don't even remember. I lost my train of thought that quickly. But, yeah. Everybody have a good night, day, whatever.